Attention! By the age of 60, men's bodies will experience these 4 signs of aging. You may not know, after the age of 30, men lose about 1% of their testosterone each year. According to the American Endocrine Society, this is not just a statistic but also a sign of the aging process that is silently taking place. According to research by the U.S. National Institutes of Health, NIH, after the age of 40, about 39% of men begin to experience symptoms of testosterone decline such as muscle loss, sagging skin, thinning hair, and decreased libido. Dr. Bradley Anawalt, an endocrinologist at the University of Washington, once commented, "Hormonal changes in men can occur slowly but have a big impact on overall health, from physical to mental. So what are the subtle signs that cannot be ignored? Let's explore right away. Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered, when did I start to age? Aging is a natural process that everyone goes through, but not everyone notices the first signs. Changes don't come all at once, but rather slowly and subtly, until one day you notice that your hair isn't as thick as it used to be, your skin isn't as plump, or your stamina isn't as good as it was when you were younger. Understanding these signs will not only help you accept the changes, but also help you be more proactive in taking care of your health, maintaining your appearance, and quality of life. Many people think that aging is simply a matter of gray hair or wrinkles, but in fact, there are subtle signals that few people notice, including a surprising change related to the sense of smell. Join me as I explore 4 common signs of aging in men and learn how to stay healthy and energetic, despite the changing times. Have you noticed that your calves aren't as toned as they used to be? This is not just a normal sign of aging, but also an important warning sign about muscle health. As we age, testosterone levels gradually decline, an average of about 1% per year after age 30, according to the American Endocrine Society, causing muscles to gradually lose tone. Not only that, but sedentary habits also contribute to weak calves. A study from Harvard University found that people who sit a lot are at risk of losing muscle 15% faster than those who exercise regularly. As leg muscles weaken, movement becomes more difficult, and the risk of falling increases significantly. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, 1 in 4 people over the age of 65 fall each year, and many of these cases are due to muscle loss and decreased balance. I remember Robert, an old friend of my father's in Boston. In his youth, he was an avid golfer, walking miles on the green every day without feeling tired, but as he entered his 60s, he became less active, and his walks in the park became less frequent. In just a few years, his once sturdy legs became thinner, and Robert's steps became slower and less steady. He once told me that climbing 2 flights of stairs used to be nothing, but now, every time he climbed the high flight of stairs, his knees began to shake slightly, and the feeling of losing his balance made him feel uneasy. Fortunately, Robert noticed this change quite early and decided not to let things get worse. He started a new routine. Every morning, he did simple exercises like standing on his toes, walking up small stairs, and walking around the neighborhood. Not only that, he also adjusted his diet, adding protein from salmon, chicken, eggs, and beans to support his muscles. After just a few months, Robert says he feels more flexible, less tired when walking, and most importantly, he no longer fears losing his balance when moving. Robert's story is a reminder that aging does not happen overnight, but rather silently over the years. But the good news is that with early attention and simple habits, the body can still adapt and become healthier every day. Here's a little known fact. As we age, our ears seem to get bigger. If you've ever looked at an old photo and thought your face hasn't changed much but your ears look longer, you're not imagining it. According to a study published in the British Medical Journal, human ears tend to grow an average of 0.22 mm per year, and the difference becomes more noticeable once you reach your 70s or 80s. I remember Walter, an old neighbor of mine in Chicago. He was a former Marine who took pride in his rugged appearance. One day, while sorting through old photos, he burst out laughing when he realized, when I was younger, my ears weren't as long as they are now. I guess I was a lot more handsome back then. At first, he thought it was just a normal sign of aging, but when he looked deeper, he learned that the cartilage in his ears continues to grow throughout his life, while the skin gradually loses elasticity. In addition, gravity also contributes to the downward pull of the earlobes, making the ears appear larger over time. Although not a health concern, this change sometimes makes many older people lose confidence. Walter is no exception. He jokes that if his ears continue to grow, he may not need to wear a sun hat anymore. But instead of worrying, he decided to take better care of his skin, especially his ears. he started protecting his ears from the sun by wearing a wide-brimmed hat when he goes out, and added collagen and vitamin C to help the skin maintain elasticity. He also maintains the habit of moisturizing his ears every night to limit sagging skin. Aging is inevitable, but understanding the changes in our bodies can help us adapt and take better care of ourselves. And as Walter often says, even if my ears get a little bigger, as long as I can still hear the laughter of my loved ones, that's enough. In middle age and old age, there is a fairly obvious change that many people face, an increasing waistline despite no change in diet. This is not simply a cosmetic issue, but also an important sign of health. I remember Richard, an old friend of my father's. He used to be slim, but when he turned 70, his waistline grew even though he ate the same food as before. He once joked, "I don't eat more, why does my belly keep getting bigger over the years?" But in reality, there are changes inside the body that make it more difficult to control belly fat. According to research from the National Institute on Aging, as we age, our metabolism slows down, making it harder for us to burn calories as efficiently as before. Muscle mass also decreases, destroying the body's natural calorie-burning machine. More importantly, the decline in testosterone in older men promotes the accumulation of belly fat. This is why many people eat the same food as before, but their waistlines continue to grow. The problem isn't just about looks. According to the American Heart Association, belly fat is the most dangerous type of fat because it surrounds your internal organs and releases inflammatory chemicals. This increases your risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and even affects your brain health. Realizing this, Richard decided to change his lifestyle to better control his belly fat. He started strength training, especially abdominal exercises, and lifting light weights to maintain muscle mass. He also cut out sugar and processed starches, and instead ate protein-rich foods to support his muscles. An important rule he always reminded himself: don't sit too long, always find ways to move, even if it's just a light walk around the house. A big belly isn't natural as you age. It's a sign that your body needs a new care strategy, and as Richard likes to say, no need for a six-pack, just a little belly fat to keep your heart healthy and your legs fast. There are some changes that occur in old age that are so subtle that even the person experiencing them may not notice them right away. One of them is a change in body odor, a phenomenon that many older people begin to notice. This is not due to poor hygiene, but is actually the result of natural biochemical changes in the body. I remember James, a close neighbor of the family. He was always neat, showered every morning, and used a light perfume. But in recent years, despite his meticulous personal care, he noticed that his clothes had a very distinctive smell, light but hard to describe, like old paper or wax. At first, he thought it was probably the soap or detergent, but when he tried a different type, the smell did not go away. This phenomenon has been scientifically explained, according to a study published in the Journal of Investigative Dermatology. As we age, the body begins to produce nonenal, a compound that causes a characteristic odor that appears after the age of 40 and becomes more pronounced as we age. It is worth noting that nonenal adheres to skin and fabric, making it difficult to remove with regular soap. This is the reason why clothes can still retain this unpleasant odor even after bathing. This scent is completely natural and has nothing to do with personal hygiene, but many people feel self-conscious when they notice this change. Mr. James was also confused when his daughter commented that his shirts smelled different from before. After researching, he tried a number of ways to improve this situation, such as using specialized soap to remove nonenal, adding foods rich in antioxidants such as green vegetables and citrus fruits to support skin health, and washing clothes with baking soda to remove odors on fabrics. After a while, he noticed a clear change. He no longer worried about his body odor, but instead, he was more confident when communicating with people. He even laughed and said, "Everyone gets old, but there are still ways to feel more comfortable and confident. Aging is inevitable, but understanding these signs will help us take better care of ourselves." If you've read this far, leave a comment number 3 to let me know you're still following. Have you noticed any of these signs in yourself or a loved one? Share your story in the comments section. Maybe your experiences will help many others. And don't forget to follow to continue to update useful health information. Aging is not the end, but a new chapter in the journey of life, a chapter that we can write the way we want. The body may change, health may not be the same as before, but that does not mean we have to accept it passively. Understanding the signs of aging not only helps us to be aware of the changes in our body, but also reminds us to appreciate ourselves more, to love ourselves more. Each wrinkle, each change on the body is not simply a sign of age, but also a testament to the years lived, the memories experienced, the lessons learned. Instead of worrying or trying to hide it, see it as part of the journey of maturity, of valuable experiences. The important thing is not to try to hold on to youth, but to make each passing day a full day, a day in which we are still healthy, still full of energy, still able to enjoy the simple joys in life. Take care of your body as you take care of yourself. A healthy lifestyle, an optimistic spirit, and good habits will help you not only live longer but also live more meaningfully, because in the end, the most beautiful thing is not age, but how you enjoy each moment of life. As time passes, each person's body changes in its own way. Calves get smaller, ears seem larger, belly fat accumulates more easily, and sometimes, body odor is different. These signs are not simply a manifestation of age, but also a reflection of the journey of life that we have gone through. Understanding and accepting them does not mean resignation, but an opportunity to proactively take better care of yourself. A healthy lifestyle, regular exercise, and an optimistic spirit can help each person enjoy old age with health and vitality. Don't worry about these changes, cherish them as precious marks of life.